Castlemaine in central Victoria is a small town of about 10,000 people, about an hour and a half northwest of Melbourne. To the local Judja Warung people, it's known as upside down country because historic gold mining literally turned the skeletal soils upside down. But what the area might lack in topsoil is made up in top people. This is a creative, active and community-focused bunch who are behind a successful backyard composting scheme called Yimby, short for Yes, in my backyard. Michaela!
Hello, how are you,
Great to meet you. Yeah. Tell me about your project.
It's a community composting initiative that was started up in Castlemaine. And so we have 24 composters at the moment. Morning, Ken. And each composter, like myself, door knocks their neighbourhood and asks the people that aren't composting if they would be happy to put their kitchen scraps in a bucket. See you. Because we're using a hot composting method, we can take meat, we can take citrus, dairy, all the things that you hear you shouldn't put in compost. Our compost system will deal with that. And every week we come around and collect it and take it back to our backyards, and there we make an amazing compost using our unique hot composting method.
Yimby has been collecting and composting since 2020. Co-founder Lucy Young believes there are many benefits, including reducing landfill.
Our capacity at the moment is almost a tonne a week, processing our community's food scraps. What we can't easily quantify are the connections that are made between people. The benefits of that come in all sorts of forms.
Volunteer Sarah Newsom was already a composter, but joined up as a Yimby volunteer. You are up to your knees in compost. Why did you get involved?
Well, I love gardening. I love growing vegetables, but there's not enough soil here for them to thrive. And so even though I made compost, it wasn't great and there wasn't a lot of it. So I love doing it. I love getting the compost. I like now connecting with my community a bit more and getting to know my neighbours. That's been really good. One of my dreams is to be able to grow good vegetables and enough of them so that I can share them.
Part of Yimby is offering training to community volunteers that Michaela, along with co-founder Joel Meadows, run together.
Our workshops are open to the whole community. We just want to raise the skill level of composting within the entire community. We don't, we see it as a craft that we don't want to lose.
We need people to compost well, and we need things like Yimby, but we also need to make sure those people who are composting are doing it at a top-notch level. So yeah, part of that's just building that skill level in the community.
A specially designed compost bay is key to the process. Affectionately known as a Beckley Bay, named after Michaela.
With my brother's help, I came up with this system where you can just open up your bay.
Yeah.
And then you just, literally take it to next door from where you're turning it, and you can pop it back together using the pegs.
So you could move it?
Yeah. It's also got a setting where you can just, when we do our second turn, we turn into the smaller version, and you just pop the pegs back in. So the whole thing is 3.6 metres, and it's just like wire mesh covered with shade cloth. So we have compost bay making sessions, and then the composters all go home with their compost, and then they can set up wherever they like. And Sarah's got several different bays around her backyard, all at different stages of our composting process.
For those struggling with some of the physicality of composting, Yimby offers support. A crew of young folk help to tackle the more physical aspects of composting. Ed Resick and Connie Hidalgo have been involved for nearly a year now. Now, I heard that you guys were here. I didn't realise that you were part of some sort of secret composting cult here. What's going on with Yimby?
It's Yimby.
It's another part of Yimby.
Oh.
It's the workout part.
Oh, so gym as in physical.
Well, as you can see, it's a lot of work here.
Yeah.
So for one person to do this just alone, it's a lot. So we come around and we do it together. There's like, 3 or 4 of us at a time. And we come and we make this compost into another pile. And we do it pretty quickly and we have fun doing it.
We put the outside of the bag in the inside here, so we make sure to have a whole turn.
So that way, whatever was perhaps cooler on the outside now gets heated up
Yeah.
Exactly.
and broken down.
We can also at this point check how the compost is going. So if there's not enough sticks or too much air or not enough air or too much water, we can work on that now. We can add more, take away. We can really just see what's going on.
And we are able to see different yards of our neighbors, so we see a lot of compost in the area, so it's pretty cool.
It's because we're processing such a large volume of kitchen scraps every week. We need it to move as fast as possible. And hot compost is only hot because it's just really an indicator of how happy your microbes are, and they're reproducing, giving off tiny bits of heat, and that's bringing up the temperature to above 55 degrees. We also want to kill the weeds and seeds that we're putting into the compost and not spread them around later on. And importantly, with food, we want it to be too hot for rodents to be able to get in and eat any of that food. So we'd come along every week and dig down and test. You can see the steams coming off that. But then when it cools down, that's when the worm and the fungi come in to break down the carbon sources in there. And this is the best part, because this is the finished product, and you can see it's just beautiful.
Yes.
Castlemaine Gold. It's a way to get to know your community and also to take a tangible sort of direct action on climate change that seems really doable, not overwhelming. But it also commits us to some time spent in our garden and all the benefits of having that time outside with your hands in the soil. And our composters often comment on how it's kind of like a special time in their week, their composting time.
It is about how we work on those collaborative systems, the decentralised systems. And I don't know if something like this can work everywhere, but it seems to be working here. Yeah, and I love it.